Yo, it's DJ Mac, and basically gonna get into the main pros of Serato, because I know people are gonna chop my head off if they don't hear the reasons why Serato is great. Okay, I've been using Serato for years. I originally started with Tractor, then I went to off to Serato, just kind of see what the buzz is about. It's it's cool, it's decent. You know what I mean? It does what it's supposed to do. But at the same time, there's other programs that is like light years ahead of Serato. Um, but yeah, we're gonna talk about the pros in Serato. The first one is Serato Flip. Serato Flip is really really dope because you're really able to just edit music like right there on the spot, which is fantastic. I think that's a dope feature. If you're into that and you want to create like some type of clean version or some type of like looped version of a song or whatever, you don't have to open up like Ableton or something like that to edit music, so that way that you could skip certain long parts of the song and stuff like that. So I think that that's dope. um, the next thing is dual filter. So dual filter, if I hold command, right, and I click on, let's say, songs, and then I click on plays, so now I can organize it by plays, how many times I played the song, or a song and artist. You can do it that way. Most people will do it by BPM and key, you know what I mean, which is pretty cool. Um, and let's see, another cool feature here is the file locator. So the file locator, um, I can load a song in here, and let's say I'm in some other folder, and I just hit Command L. Let me see if I can find it. But what's supposed to happen? I think it just works with local tracks. So let me try this. I jump here. Yeah, so it only works with like local tracks. Um, and basically it'll jump to the song. So if I'm somewhere around here, it'll jump to where the song is in that specific crate. So if you're jumping around folders and crates and whatnot, and you're like, oh shoot, what was the last crate I was at? It'll jump to that, and if you press it again, it will jump to the second song, from the other deck. So if I'm trying to find like where I was, I can hit that, and it'll jump back and forth between both songs, which is pretty cool. Um, and then there's also the filter. I think I talk about the filter lock. So the filter lock, um, if I'm in one playlist and I want to organize it by artist, um, and I go to another playlist, let's say I go to the Goodbye, and I want to organize that by album. If I go back to the Kids Party one, it'll still be by artist, and I go back to the Goodbye one, it'll be by album. So it kind of keeps everything organized in that fashion, which I think is pretty cool. So that way, you're not kind of organizing everything by BPM. You want to keep everything kind of organized, which I think is actually really cool on Serato's part. Um, and then also they have a much better sampler than DJ. It's way more extensive in terms of like, if I have, let me see if I can drop something in here. So if I drop a whole song in there, I can pick, certain cue points in the song that's already there. So you can go to the little cog icon wheel right there, and then you can choose if I want to do it from the start. You can eject it, you can mute it, you can actually key lock it. Um, you can change the BPM, the gain. You can play it. You know what I mean, which is pretty cool. You know what I mean. You can sync it to the actual track. So let's say you got a bunch of loops or a song, you can actually sync all of them to like your main songs up here, which is pretty cool. And you got different banks. You have different banks of 8, you know, and you can output them to different channels, which is pretty cool. But yeah, So kudos to them on that. I think DJ definitely needs to work on their sampler, or they call it their looper. Um, they definitely need to work on that. And yeah, it has its volume fader right here too. It's pretty cool. And let's see, last but not least, their stem their stem reaction, which I mean by that is like when you turn your stem on and off, it you can what's the word for it? The reaction is just way better in terms of like when I press the mute for the vocals, when I mute the vocals, it will happen instantaneously. But with DJ, it takes like, a quarter of a second or like an eighth or 16th of a second. And it's just like, it's not practical. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's almost unusable. You know what I mean? If I'm trying to do like quick drops, like it needs to be like extremely instantaneous. So I hope they do work on that. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the pros of Serato. After that, there's really nothing Serato is offering that's like dope. You know what I mean? Like everything else is pretty much standard. Like, you know, there's nothing. There's nothing like outstandishly like fantastic about it. You know what I mean? Um, they take forever with updates. You know what I mean? Like it's just fact. You know what I mean? And they just need to work on their library. But those are the pros of Serato. So I just did this video because I know there's a lot of people out there saying like, oh, Serato's the best and DJs, nobody's using it. And it's just like a lot of people are using it, but it's just the fact that Serato was popularized by the OGs, and you know Serato wasn't even working great like that in the very beginning. So it's just like it went under a lot of development. You know what I mean? Um, it seems to work fine now, but you know, DJ just has just way more features and bang for the buck. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, kudos to Serato for those features. I think those are very helpful features. Like I can see myself using Serato Flip. If I'm in a pinch where I don't have the clean version of a song doesn't exist, you can use Serato Flip to flip the song, which is pretty cool. The dual filter mode, I could see myself using that if I'm, trying to organize my crates by BPM and maybe artists or key, length of a song, stuff like that. It can be very useful, if used correctly. The filter lock, that helps if I'm trying to keep everything in a crate, you know, organized by, you know, BPM in one crate and key in another crate and song, structure in another crate. I think that's really helpful because it just makes you DJ a lot faster. Just, you're not sluggish. It's less steps. So that way you can get to the point faster. And the file locator, that's been a huge help for me. I've used that in Serato a lot as well, because I think like that definitely helps you stay on task and stay within a crate, or lets you know like where you are, where you found that song, so you can kind of stay in that song structure. And then like I said, it has much better sampler. I think DJ needs to work on their sampler for sure, 100%. I do not disagree about that. And their stems, like button hit delay, like they definitely need to, work on that. But other than that, DJ is winning right now. So like I said, once you let DJ know in their forums, like, hey, these are some pros that Serato has over DJ, they can knock out damn near everything. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure that DJ can add a dual filter, a filter lock, a file locator. They can definitely improve their sampler. They can definitely improve the button press when you hit the on and off for the stems mute. Like, they can improve on that. You know what I mean? A Serato flip, maybe they can. You never know. I wouldn't hold up against them. They probably could invent some stuff like that. You know what I mean? But 9 times out of 10, I feel that the 6 things that I mentioned here, DJ can like bang that out within a year. You know what I mean? So yeah, like and they respond pretty quickly. Like they respond pretty quickly on their forums. So Serato, I don't know, man. You guys are in the hot water because it's like the pros that you got are barely pros because they can easily be, you know, outranked by DJ or even virtual DJ. You know what I mean? So it's like the only thing you got going for you really is like the fact that the OGs are sticklers for Serato because that was the first thing. That was the first software that was out at the time. Um, other than like Stanton's and Tractor at the time. So but yeah, all right, peace.